This cake is insanely chocolatey and moist, but it's not super sweet. It pairs well with chocolate buttercream or ganache and also almost every flavour of filling and frosting: vanilla, raspberry, peanut butter, strawberry, caramel, coffee. It's an easy recipe to follow with simple ingredients, and in this tutorial I'm going to share my tips for mixing and baking it to perfection. The chocolatey part of this recipe is cocoa powder, and to mix it evenly through the batter we're going to mix it with hot water first. Cocoa powder will dissolve in hot water, making a chocolatey paste. Prepare this first so it has time to cool down before you add it to the cake batter. Now let's talk about ingredients. Everything needs to be at room temperature. This means taking the butter and eggs out of the fridge 3 hours before baking because cold ingredients don't mix well together. You can tell the butter is at room temperature when you can slice through it easily with a spatula. Mix all of the dry ingredients together: flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and now you're ready to start. Add the butter first, and you can use a stand mixer or a handheld mixer, whatever you have. I like to mix just the butter for a few seconds first, and this is a good way to check that it is at room temperature, because it should lose its shape and not look like sticks of butter anymore. Add the sugar and mix at medium speed for about 2 minutes, and this process is called creaming. You'll find the printable recipe for this cake with ingredients in cups and grams on britishgirlbakes.com. This isn't ready yet, it still looks crumbly and chunky. Keep mixing until the butter and sugar cream together and get lighter in colour, and it will look creamy and fluffy. Add the eggs one by one, mixing for about 30 seconds after adding each one, and this way they'll mix into the batter better than if you add them all at once. Scrape down to the bottom of the mixing bowl to scoop up any eggs stuck at the bottom, and that way it'll mix into the batter when you turn the mixer back on. Add the vanilla next, and real vanilla extract will give the cake a deeper, richer flavour than artificial vanilla. Now we're going to add the dry ingredients in 3 parts, and I'll show you why and also what that means. Add 1/3 of the dry ingredients first, and this is the flour and baking powder and baking soda and salt you measured out and whisked together earlier. It doesn't have to be exactly 1/3, you don't have to measure it, just guess what about 1/3 is. Mix this into the batter using the slowest speed setting, and as soon as it's mixed in and you don't see the flour in the batter, turn the mixer off and now add half of the cocoa powder mixture and mix that in. The reason we're adding the flour and cocoa powder in parts is that flour contains gluten, and when gluten mixes with a wet ingredient, like this cake batter, it starts to develop, and if you overmix it, it will make your cake tough and dense. So you only want to mix your batter just enough to incorporate all of the ingredients together, but no more. And adding the flour 1/3 at a time makes it easier and quicker to incorporate. After mixing 1/3 of the dry ingredients, half of the cocoa powder, another 1/3 of the dry ingredients, the rest of the cocoa, and the rest of the dry ingredients, the batter is finished. This is a very runny batter, so if yours looks like this, you haven't done anything wrong, it's supposed to be a bit soupy. Divide your batter into 3 cake pans and bake them for 38 minutes, or until you can touch them and they bounce back slowly, or a toothpick poked into the middle comes out clean. Leave the cakes in the pans to cool for 10 minutes and then turn them out onto a wire cooling rack and let them cool completely for about 3 hours before you assemble your cake. The recipe on britishgirlbakes.com is for an 8-inch cake, but in my Basics of Cake Master course I provide measurements for 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch and sheet cakes as well as cupcake conversions. Frost it, decorate it, and enjoy! This cake tastes best at room temperature, but you can store it in the fridge for 3 days. Just take it out of the fridge at least 2 hours before you eat it, so that it has time to come to room temperature. Learn every step of making a cake: mixing, baking, making fillings and frostings, leveling and dividing layers, assembling, frosting and decorating, storing, transporting, and serving in my Basics of Cake Master course on my online cake school. The link is up here in the top of the screen and in the video description, or go to britishgirlbakes.com. Thank you for watching.